For 9 centuries, the Treaty of Solara kept the galaxy at peace. 900 years without war, without planetary bombardment, without loss. The Galactic Empire ruled, the federated worlds obeyed, and humanity, the youngest of them all, stayed quiet on its small blue world, until the day a woman stood before an empire and refused to kneel. Her name was General Aria Solace, and her death ended 900 years of peace. The spark. It began on Varela Prime, a neutral world rich with resources, claimed by both the Empire and the human colonies. Negotiations had stretched for months. General Aria Solace led the human delegation, calm, strategic, unyielding. She had fought once before the treaty in the old border wars. To many, she was a relic. To others, she was humanity's conscience made flesh. The Empire's High Chancellor wanted submission. Aria wanted equality. The tension cracked in a single moment. The shot heard across the stars. No one knows who gave the order. Some say it was fear. Others say arrogance. As Aria stepped forward to present the new treaty revisions, an Imperial guard raised his plasma rifle and fired. The shot tore through her chest. For a heartbeat, the galaxy stood still. Then the room exploded in screams and chaos. Her body fell across the treaty table, her blood staining the parchment that had held peace for nearly a millennium. The silence before the storm. For 72 hours, the Empire said nothing. No apology, no explanation. The human colonies broadcast the footage across every network in the system. Billions watched as the galaxy's symbol of peace was cut down like a criminal. The Terran Council convened an emergency session. President Liam Morrow's words echoed through every channel. You've taken from us the one who held the line between war and extinction. Now the line breaks. The first strike. 3 days later, an Imperial outpost on the fringe world Calthos 9 vanished. No distress signals. No survivors. Orbital records showed a single Terran cruiser entering the system for less than 10 minutes. The Empire dismissed it as a pirate attack. Then another base went dark. And another. Within a week, 5 Imperial installations were erased. Without debris, without warning. The ghost of humanity had awakened. The Deathworlders rise. The Empire had always viewed humans as fragile, a minor Deathworld species too sentimental to be dangerous. They had forgotten what a Deathworlder truly was. On Earth, survival wasn't a right. It was a constant battle. The storms, the predators, the hunger, everything had shaped them to endure. Now that endurance was turned to vengeance. The Terran fleets didn't invade. They hunted. They disabled communications, jammed navigation, and struck with surgical precision. Each blow carried the same message carved into the wreckage. For Aria. The Empire's retaliation. The Emperor ordered full retaliation. Entire sectors were set ablaze. Human colonies burned, their skies filled with fire and ash. But the humans didn't retreat. They adapted. They stopped fighting like soldiers and started fighting like survivors. They fought dirty, using gravitational mines, kinetic bombardments, and stealth ships cloaked in dark matter. The Empire began losing faster than it could respond. The Ghost Fleet. Rumors spread of a fleet that didn't exist on any official records. Commanded by Aria's former second-in-command, Admiral Cale Draven, the Ghost Fleet operated beyond all jurisdiction. They struck from the void, never seen, never caught. One Imperial warlord, desperate to surrender, recorded his final message. You cannot fight them. They don't seek conquest. They seek memory. The Ghost Fleet's insignia was a single symbol, a white star, split by a red line. The mark of Aria Solace. The Emperor's fear. 6 months into the war, the Empire began fracturing. Worlds that had known peace for generations suddenly remembered what humanity had tried to warn them of. Peace without respect is slavery waiting for blood. The Emperor broadcast a plea for unity. He called humanity barbarians, murderers, traitors, But the galaxy had seen the footage. They remembered who fired first. The Emperor's words rang hollow against the image of Aria Solace. Her final look defiant even as life faded from her eyes. The turning point. On the anniversary of her death, the Terran fleet appeared above the Imperial capital world, Virella Prime. No demands. No speeches. Admiral Draven transmitted a single message across all frequencies. She asked for peace. You answered with blood. We answered in kind. The bombardment lasted 8 minutes. When it ended, the Imperial palace was gone. The legacy of Aria Solace. After the war, what remained of the Empire signed a new treaty, the Accord of Solace. This time, humanity sat at the head of the table. But they didn't gloat. They didn't boast. They rebuilt. Not because they forgave, but because she would have wanted it. The galaxy now whispered her name like a prayer. Aria Solace, the woman who died for peace and taught humanity how to end war. The eternal flame. On Earth, in the city once called Geneva, a monument stands beneath the stars. It burns with eternal light, powered by a single plasma core recovered from her armor. The inscription reads, "She believed in peace. We believed in her." And every year, on the day of her death, every Terran vessel across the galaxy powers down its weapon for 1 minute of silence. Then, as the stars shimmer in quiet tribute, they whisper her final recorded words, recovered from her personal comms hours before the shooting. If peace must bleed to live, let it bleed through me. But if they draw my blood for pride, then let the galaxy remember. Humanity never forgets. Epilogue. 900 years of peace were shattered in a single moment of arrogance. But from that moment came a lesson carved in fire. Never mistake mercy for weakness. Never mistake silence for surrender. Because when the Empire shot a human general, they didn't just kill a leader. They woke a species that had survived everything its own world could throw at it. And now, the galaxy.